think it's time we go back to love, back to love.
So hi Jon.
Hey.
Welcome back to Montreal.
Thank you.
When was the last time you were here?
I was here in, I want to say 2020. That's not, I think that's right. Yeah, it was 2020.
Everything's a blur now.
Everything's a blur. Yeah, it was. It was the last day of the tour in January of 2020, very end. And where did we play? It's a little bar, and we partied. It was like the one night where we actually got to party. Everything was like, we were very responsible, and we got to the gigs. But that last night was so fun.
Nice.
So fun. Yeah.
Good place to do it in the middle of winter too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was so great. Yeah.
And here we are coming into winter again, end of 2022. How's your 22 been?
That's a loaded question. It's been it's been nice to see things moving in a good direction, in the direction of like people are going to shows, people are starting to go out more. So that's nice to see. You know, as a performer, as a musician, it's really encouraging. But yeah, I mean, it was always like throughout the year there were points where I was like, are they going to shut down again? Is it going to, you know, there's so much hinges on that for me.
Yeah.
You know, and for my ability to get my music out there.
Does it still feel like that? You still feel like it could go either way?
It could, yeah. You know, it's in the back of my mind. You know, at any point could they shut me down, or like could, you know.
Wow, fingers crossed.
2020, yeah, fingers crossed, yeah.
But you've had new music out this year. I'm assuming that's the beginning of something. Is it?
It could be, or it could be like, just like a, hey, I'm gonna try this, and I think when, you know, being me as a singer-songwriter, it's nice that I can kind of go in different directions musically and creatively. So doing like this Psychedelic Salutations album it had a very pop leaning, very much in this like R&B pop fusion with singer-songwriter. It was very fun for me to do, and I've always enjoyed pop music and grew up listening to a lot of R&B. So It was nice to like flex that a bit and just sort of like see what's over there. But yeah, I don't know if it's going to be something that'll be a permanent sound.
Is that one of the benefits of like the way that people listen to music now, that like with streaming, that you can just kind of drop things in the ocean and see what happens?
Yeah. I mean, to a degree though, because you don't want to. I mean, as nowadays the way the music industry works is Spotify and Apple and these massive companies sort of build these algorithms around these artists, and they build communities around these artists. And when an artist releases the music that sounds like these other artists, it all works perfectly. You know, people will hear it. But if you're an artist that makes polka music and you release a metal album, no one will ever hear that album ever, because unless they buy the record themselves or they have a following, it's just like it's a very it's different now. I think more different than it used to be, I guess, in that it's a computer system dictating who will hear your music rather than like a label or a publisher or a distributor. So yeah.
So when you're writing songs, are you able to like remove that from your head? Like that's the way things work these days.
Yeah, which is why I released a pop R&B album as like a folk singer, or like a chill folk singer songwriter. So yeah, I was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna make the music I really like to make, and not think about it. So I wrote 50 songs in 50 days. Went a bit crazy. Yeah, I locked myself in my apartment. This was the beginning of the pandemic, and wrote a bunch of stuff that was like interesting to me. And around like day 20 to day 40, it was like I locked into this like sound that I really enjoyed, and that was kind of what became of that. That's what came from, became Psychedelic Salutations.
Was it a different way of writing songs? Like you were kind of forcing yourself to do it?
Yeah, in my apartment I have like a little CP Rhodes. It's called a Yamaha Reface. It's just this tiny little keyboard, and then a couple guitars, a bass, and everything else was sampled. So I was making demos, building stuff from resources like online resources of samples, basically, and just like throwing stuff together, seeing what worked.
Yeah, nice. What is your process like? Other than that, in normal times, when you're writing a song, what's your process to get to a song?
I'd say instead of a pandemic or like something mandating I stay home, I have to mandate that I stay home and write.
Okay.
Because I like being out. I like, living my life. So I need to like dedicate time. I need to dedicate time to songwriting. So I have to, sometimes I'll go on a trip, or I'll, just to prepare myself for songwriting, or I'll start co-writing a bunch with other people and get into that mode again of, oh yeah, I have to be creative now. I have to think creatively. So, because when you're not, like when you're on tour, your mind is in tour mode and you're like very structured, and every day is the same thing, but it's different. So you have to like make deadlines, and then when songwriting comes around, it's like a shift has to happen where you see the world and everything around you as an opportunity for a song. Like this green room could be an opportunity for a song. Me talking to you, it's like there's little things in every interaction that you can write a song from. So yeah, to turn that mode on though, it takes I find it takes me a few days or a few weeks sometimes.
2022 seems to have been pretty good for you. What's the plan for 2023?
Touring and a new record. So I'm writing right now and starting to record mid-January. I'll do a few songs. We're going to record down in Nashville and in Vancouver. I'll just record some at my place. But late spring, I want to be in the States touring. So we're setting up the tour States, and then hopefully Europe, and then Canada maybe next year.
Yeah.
Like end of next year, kind of like this time.
Nice.
Yeah.
So it's all going on.
Trying to make it happen. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I wish you all the best with it.
Thank you so much.
And thank you very much for your time today.
Of course, yeah, my pleasure. Thank you. Cheers.
Candy tangerine.
Very simple. What 7 words? It's not that hard.